1580, the Terry Claiborne Foundation presents its 26th annual holiday party, Saturday, December 9th, featuring live entertainment, celebrity appearances, plus food and drinks. There is a cover charge for this party of the season, but not if you're one of our special guests. All you have to do is go to our website at KBLA1580.com and sign up. That's it, that's all. Just sign up at KBLA1580.com and you could win entrance to the soiree of the season. But whether you win or not, get a ticket, support the kids, and come join us on the red carpet in your semi-formal club attire and celebrate the season with KBLA Talk 1580 and the Terry Claiborne Foundation as we collect toys for the youth in our community. That's Saturday, December 9th, 1110 South La Cienega Boulevard, just south of Olympic. It's a holiday party with a purpose.
I'm Terry Claiborne. It's going to be a party. Come hang out with us.
Let's go.
You're not supposed to play this version. You got to play the remix.
What I tell you.
Hey, you got to bounce to this like this. You almost got to watch to this. Let's skate. Right there.
This is back when Mimi used to do her pop version and then her urban version. Mm-hmm. And you know me.
She had her nemesis, Bianca.
Yeah, I remember black hair Bianca in the video. I still, give me Missy and the Brat and Snoop and the 6'4".
You know, I was thinking about...
Guess who's back in the...
I was thinking about the Brat Mariah today and how the Brat came and rescued her from that house that time when she was being held hostage.
You talking about what Tommy Mottola?
Yeah.
Allegedly?
Well, no, she talked about it in the book.
Okay.
They always tell the story.
I know, but see, here's the thing with me. Sometimes, listen, I'm protecting home.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Allegedly. But I mean, come on, she said it in the book.
No, I mean, I know she said it in the book, but I'm just, I always err on the...
safe side. Got it.
Yeah, with that type of stuff, at least. So we were talking about Bree, right? And
Selling Sunset, yes.
She and Nick Cannon have 17-month-old son, legendary Cannon. Not legend, legendary. What's your name? Legendary. And the holidays are coming forward, right? And so recently, over the weekend perhaps, there was a party at Kathy Hilton's home in Bel Air.
Oh, that sounds like a nice party. Now that's a party I want to go to one day.
I went to an Emmy party at, what is the lady that owned the restaurants?
Vanderpump.
Yes. At her house.
Really?
Yeah.
In Beverly Hills?
Yeah. What is it, Mount Olympus?
No, it's called Beverly Park.
What's the Olympic, like there's the gated part inside of there?
Beverly Park.
But I'll look it up. But that's what I'm talking about, at the top, where you go to the top. And it's, yeah. It was beautiful.
Yes.
Like, amazing. She had a whole menagerie set up in the backyard along with other things.
What does she do? She's in real estate?
Restaurateur.
Or just restaurants only?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what else. This was some years ago, though.
Yeah.
But
She's very too fabulous for my own liking.
She very much reminds me of Joan Collins and Jackie Collins.
Yes.
And, I love them. So it tracks. It makes sense. So listen, with the holidays coming up, Bree was asked, because, listen, let's run it down in case you aren't aware, right? The twins, they're 12, Rock and Row, Moroccan and Monroe.
Were they the oldest?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
first.
First for both he and Mariah, right? And
that was so strange.
then he has his sons, Golden Saigon, Rise Messiah,
Golden Saigon, huh? I love that.
Golden Saigon, and daughter Powerful Queen with Brittany Bell. He has a set of twins, Zion. I'm not sure what Zion's middle name is, and Zillion Air. And he has another daughter named
Zillionaire?
Zillion, and her middle name is Air. Yeah, Heir, like in air. These are really their names.
What was the other one? Golden Caprice?
Close. Golden Saigon, Rise Messiah, Powerful Queen.
Power Rangers. Okay, got it.
Right. Yeah. And Beautiful Zeppelin. And, with Abby De La Rosa. And he has another daughter, Onyx Ice Cold, with model Lanisha Cole.
Ice cold. Like Ice Spice, but ice cold. Ice tea?
Ice cold. Onyx Ice Cold. So black ice.
Black ice, yeah.
Black ice.
I see what he's trying to do there.
Black ice cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Golden Saigon.
Eddie.
Is it possible that Nick Cannon might have groomed a lot of these women?
What do you mean?
Just listening to these kids' names, it just sounds like a power trip.
But how are you being groomed at 35 though?
Just because we were talking about this. We were talking about this offline, about, what grooming truly means. You know, how people kind of throw that word. Some people really don't know what it means or whatnot. Yeah. So I'm just,
Because at 35, you're getting signed up for it. Ain't nobody tricking you into nothing. I think you just going along with it because you got the money and you getting this. This is the baby name.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
Groom doesn't necessarily have to be about age either.
It doesn't.
Like I was telling Jill the other day or last night that, you know what I'm saying, you could be somebody from, let me not even say that, but you could be somebody who has experienced life, right? And come across somebody who hasn't really experienced life, and you take advantage of the fact that that person hasn't experienced life. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that Nick Cannon is taking advantage of these women, but it's just the names of these kids just sound like somebody, like it seems as if these women didn't have any agency in naming these kids. It's just like, I'm gonna give you this kid and I'm gonna name these kids. I mean, come on, Zillion Air. Like, come on, bro.
They are interesting. What I will say is that money, for some, will take away your will and effort to complain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it's grooming at this point. You sign up for it because you know what it is.
I think listen, third baby mama on down, you know what it is.
Because you can just see it. Like, I can see Nick Cannon right now. Look, I'm trying to have another baby with you. Look, I'm gonna buy you a house. I'm gonna pay for this. I'm gonna pay for that. All you gotta do is just have a baby, and I'm gonna name it. And I'm gonna give you $8 million. What you gonna do? You gonna lay down there on your back and have that baby?
Like, ooh, turkey baster if it doesn't work.
Not even that. You're gonna have a home birth and what do you call a midwife and a whole nine, baby. A sound bath, right. The whole setup. I'm doing it. Gap it open. What's up?
Playing Andre 3000's flute album in the background to get us through. I mean, apologies if 20 years later a different story comes out, but I would be hard pressed to think any woman that is stepping into a relationship with Nick Cannon, especially within the last 4 or 5 years, is unaware.
And you have to even look at it like this. There are some women in the world who are looking for this come up. They're looking to get pregnant so they can get a baller and have the bag and the baby. And that's what they're looking for.
I mean, facts.
So it's a come up for them because they know what they're signing up for. They know that he's down to have a baby and down to pay the child support. Boom. Easy done deal.
What they don't know is that money going to be there for 18 years. And that's why, since they're unmarried, they can have a stash. And they better stash some of that money because it could get cold. And when you're kid number 9 of 12, and that money starts running low,
I don't think it's a problem now, but I think when that time comes and he has to hang it up, that will better be in order and stitched tight because there's going to be so many claims against that estate. It's going to go crazy.
Carrie Webb in the chat said, why did I think for a second that Turkey Baster was an actual name of one of his kids?
Oh, Carrie, stop playing tonight.
It's one of those nights.
It is one of those nights.
Carrie. Listen, when we come forward, more trending topics and headlines, you were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the oven on, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, Bree, we're still talking about
we're
Nick
still
Cannon's
there.
kids.
We haven't even oh my God, go ahead. This is your show, not mine.
Listen, Bree said that it's holidays. She was asked how they would be working out the time for all of the kids so that Nick could either get the kids together or, you know, make sure that he's spending quality time.
Who asked her that?
With the children. Someone that was interviewing her on the red carpet at Kathy's house.
But she got one kid with him, right?
She does.
So what do that one kid got to do with the other 10?
Because he got to go visit the other 10.
But what that got to do with her?
That's what she was asking. Do you guys plan it for all together, a group outing, I guess? Do you work it out? And she was like, that's on him to figure out.
Yeah. Like, what you asking me this for? Like, who are these people asking questions? Who authorized this?
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with the question.
See,
people are naturally going to be curious. If you have...
This is why...
Your child has 11 other siblings with at least 10 other moms.
Let me tell y'all something right now.
Might be curious as to how it works.
Y'all ever catch me on a red carpet and ask me some stuff trying to hit me up like that? Y'all gonna get an answer, okay? Because can't nobody be asking me about nobody else's business and nobody else's kids. Go ask them. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
I mean, they're her kids' siblings. They were just
What?
asking what her holiday plans are.
They don't
I don't
have.
see anything
Go ask
wrong with
somebody
it.
else.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Bree says she loves Nick. She's very happy with her relationship and how it is. But if she dates, she dates. And she does what she wants to do.
Yes.
She said she would still never disrespect Nick, though. And even his situations and stuff, I've always been nothing but respectful of that.
I mean, what else can you be?
I wonder, are you really allowed to have other situations? Or if you have another situation, is it a type of thing where you better be sure, because if you leave the nest, you can't come back to the house of Kennons.
I mean, they're not married, so what's the issue?
Of course not, but what's the issue is he's financing it. I don't think that Nick has placed him under traditional child support through the courts. I think he's like, hey, I take care of you with this. Hey, I'm doing this. But perhaps if you move on, things might change.
I don't really think that she would be out here talking about this if there was an issue like that. I think that, and I don't really see him being that type of person either. I think once that he makes an agreement to do something, he does it.
Sounds good. She says that I know people don't get it, and I don't care that people don't get it.
Exactly. I'm with her on this. Now I feel bad about everything I said about her clowning. Like, who is she? Like, questioning her credentials. I love her answers. I love it because, I mean, come on. Like, go ask them. Like, come on. I love her.
Thomas Outlaw said Nick Cannon's drive-through parenting.
We love it.
Brother Alfonso says, it starts with Carrie Webb's comment. Brother Alfonso basically is saying that he wouldn't be surprised at anything Nick had to name his children because he's made some choices in their names. I mean, they're not going to be able to blend in. And
at
they're
all
not going to have the same experience.
Well, I mean, we already know who's going to have the best or the better experience. The first two.
I'm not saying the other children won't have,
it'll be different for sure.
But it'll just be a different experience. And again, the children are fairly young now, save Rock and Row, the rest of the children are pretty much under 5, yeah?
So they'll probably just all grow up together because they're close in age. What if they all end up at the same school or something?
I don't think that they don't even, does everybody live in the same states? I don't even think everybody lives here in Los Angeles area. I don't know. It's a lot. But that's the thing. It's all good now. 15 years from now, is that money still going to be holding? Not that I don't care. So please don't think that.
I think it will be.
It's just a question.
I think it will be.
God bless the person that's paying 12 college tuitions. Just listen. It's quite a bit. Okay, so listen, of course we have been talking for the past, week and a half about the allegations against Sean Diddy Combs and various other men, prominent men in entertainment. Axl Rose, the mayor of New York, Jimmy Iovine has been accused, Jamie Foxx, quite a number of men under New York's Survivors Act law, which the look-back period closed on November 23rd. Well, there was another law that was put into place that actually has an impact on the future of some of these cases. And it's quite a bit. We always talk about, if you're dealing with somebody wealthy, they're going to have you sign an NDA. I had, people reference having to sign NDAs for certain situations. And we know that basically that puts them financially on the hook for some sum of money if they speak about events related to said incident. Yes. Well, New York, in going through the details for the Survivors Act, they enacted greater restrictions on these agreements involving claims of discrimination, harassment, or retaliation, those type of cases specifically. And in it, basically, November 17th, this was enacted. The governor signed into the law. It's S4516 in New York, and it is an amendment to the New York General Obligations Law that restricts certain terms from being included in these release agreements involving claims of, as I said, discrimination, harassment, or retaliation. The amendments went into effect immediately and apply to all agreements that were entered into on or after the effective date, which would mean what? Cassie's lawsuit with Diddy, right? Section 5-336 is one of the original Me Too statutes, right? It was intended to limit the use of NDAs and confidentiality agreements that prevent victims of sexual harassment from, disclosing about the conduct in what they consider a way that might prevent huge future harassment. So basically, I'm telling my story so the next person doesn't have to have that experience, right? And so they said that it was a form of harassment to sign an NDA to prevent people from speaking on that.
Yes.
And so there's also S4516 that further expands 5336 to cover not only claims of discrimination but discriminatory harassment as well. So it's been expanded. So basically, long story short, it generally will prohibit an employer from requiring an NDA provision in the release agreements. So
I love that, and I hope that California and other states follow suit, because it is a continued silencing and victimization of victims to have to sign that and be silenced further about what happened to them.
So
I hope she writes a book and a Lifetime movie and tells it all.
I feel like she won't.
But she won't, of course.
I think she is going to take her money, give her 40% to her lawyers. I should point out, and I mentioned this when we first talked about it, that the lawyers she obtained are known for high-profile corporate cases that involve that intersection of sexual harassment in the workplace.
It was the same ones that brought Weinstein down.
I don't think so.
Or was it it was that same attorney.
Doug, I don't. No, it was another
that
case
that represented the first victim from the Weinstein girl.
The maid?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it was the maid. So the thing with this is that I said initially, they filed against Bad Boy and their parent company. And this is why, jumping back to another case that was filed during this look back period against former NFL star Marcellus Wiley, we talked about this. I had questions because she claimed that the school did not believe her and take her claims seriously and had favor for him because he was an NFL prospect, basically a star football player at Columbia. And she didn't name them in her suit. Perhaps when they went through that process, she signed some sort of paperwork that, barred them from future responsibility or something. But I just thought it was very interesting, if that is not the case, why you would not include the school in it. Because if what you're saying is true, they victimized you twice. And for a much, not literally comparison, but she said she had to sit in classes with the man she claimed sexually assaulted her. So for a semester or more before he was suspended, whatever that time frame was. So, I said right away, the positioning of this case is, yes, it's about the relationship thing, but because she was signed to his label, that dynamic as employee-employer sets up a clearly defined power dynamic that is a little easier to, not easier, maybe that's not the correct word, but people tend to see that and understand it more clearly than when people are in a relationship and it's, fuzzy gray math, so to speak. Urban Spinster says, Nick has health issues and apparently has passed some on to his kids. He should stop procreating. I mean, we know he has MS. I am not sure, or not MS, I apologize. Lupus. Yeah, lupus. And so, hey, Be well and spread the seed. Populate. Keep it moving on, right? Shout out to Nick, though. But
there's always a willing participant.
Listen, they're going to be there. But back to this Diddy thing with Cassie and others. I do think that we know that once one person steps forward, it makes it easier for others to fall in line, right? But some are questioning, for example, Diddy's former bodyguard, Roger Bonds. He was named in the actual suit from Cassie as having seen and trying to assist her during at least one of these situations, right? More than once, actually, that he tried to intervene, so according to the reports. And recently he posted a video to his social media, and he said, there comes a time when you're in a situation that may seem like a good one, but if you're not waking up happy, or if you really don't want to be around the person, you'll find every excuse to get out of there. And I got diabetes, so my excuse was I can't be with you every day. In reality, it was I was sick of you. I was sick. So, fair is probably maybe not the best word, but do you think that it is appropriate or helpful or worthwhile for Roger to throw these sort of hints and Easter eggs out there without fully explaining? And now we are 10, 15 years removed from the violence. Is it, some people feel that it's almost clout chasing, for a lack of a better word, to get involved and to speak on it now.
Excuse me. Well, part of his job back then was to be quiet. It was to abide by the code of silence. And, when you're somebody's bodyguard, it's like you can't really speak anyway because you have to do things in a certain, manner to keep the client protected. So there's that element. Two, when you are publicly named in a lawsuit, okay, and people can read the lawsuit, public information, it's no longer private. People know at this point. So if she named you and said that you were assisting, you kind of want to add to the narrative, right? And you also want to make some things clear, and you also kind of want to come to Cassie's defense because at a certain time.
But that wasn't clarity.
He couldn't speak about it then, but when you name somebody in a suit and you say that they've come to or they try to assist you, right? Mm-hmm. And you name them just in case it did go to trial. This person would be a potential witness, right, to speak on what they saw. It's kind of the same thing because now it's being tried in the court of public opinion. So while you might not come out and volunteer all the information, you can kind of put the pieces or drop hints because Cassie has already done it for us, so to speak.
Nobody has time to be trying to connect the dots. Say what you got to say.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's true too, but also the information's there, so we can go read it.
But I think the riddles, not helpful, at least not to me. When we come forward.
To most people, because we're used to getting information without having to go look for it.
It's not even about having to look for it. It's just obtuse to me. I don't know. More trending topics, more headlines. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The FBI is investigating after the former Minneapolis police officer convicted for killing George Floyd was stabbed in prison. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, who is black, says the FBI will look into what led up to Derek Chauvin being stabbed last week. Chauvin is currently serving a 22-year sentence in a federal prison in Arizona. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is unveiling a plan to move some migrants from police stations into churches. The African-American mayor was joined by faith leaders yesterday to announce the Unity Initiative. The program will be funded with $350,000 in private donations. On this day in history in 2015, NBA star Kobe Bryant announced on the Players Tribune that he would retire at the end of the year. The 37-year-old Los Angeles Lakers guard said, "This season is all they have left to give." And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Temperatures getting low but demand remaining high? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
In association with KBLA Talk 1580, the Terry Claiborne Foundation presents its 26th annual holiday party, Saturday, December 9th, featuring live entertainment, celebrity appearances, plus food and drinks. There is a cover charge for this party of the season, but not if you're one of our special guests. All you have to do is go to our website at KBLA1580.com and sign up. That's it, that's all. Just sign up at KBLA1580.com and you could win entrance to the soiree of the season. But whether you win or not, get a ticket, support the kids, and come join us on the red carpet in your semi-formal club attire and celebrate the season with KBLA Talk 1580 and the Terry Claiborne Foundation as we collect toys for the youth in our community. That's Saturday, December 9th, 1110 South La Cienega Boulevard, just south of Olympic. It's a holiday party with a purpose.
I'm Terry Claiborne. It's going to be a party. Come hang out with us.
Attention Los Angeles County residents. Dreaming of owning your own home? Looking for ways to generate income with your home? Or are you behind on payments and need help? Then mark your calendar for December 2nd. Join us at the Opening Doors Planning for the Stages of Home Ownership event at Magic Johnson Park in Willowbrook on December 2nd from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. for workshops, a resource fair, and much more. Attendance is free. We'll have raffle prizes, food, and more. Dive into valuable resources designed to help you navigate the home ownership pipeline. To learn more or to register for the event, please visit our website, dcba.la/openingdoors. Again, that website is dcba.la/openingdoors. See you at Magic Johnson Park on December 2nd. Doors open at 8 a.m. for registration. This message is brought to you by LA County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs.
Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID, whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, put the kids to bed. B2K and Nick Cannon. Track masters, the party. Yo, the freaks come out at night. I'm like Houdini with the magic stick. When you turn out the lights, shorty gripping my stomach tighter. When I burn out on the bike, holla at the young thugs, what we doing tonight? I'm in the OJ throwback jersey, dressed to kill. Bridget won't get it, but Vanessa will. Vanessa's real, shorty got sex appeal. You can hear this beat banging from the exit still. High pop, we need something for these chicks to dance to. Look, mom, I'm trying to grind, I ain't trying to romance you. I'm just trying to get them pants loose. Let's get private. Two-way text me, T-Mobile sidekick. One-on-one, let's talk and neglect the gossip. I'm as real as they come, baby girl. I got this. My wrist all numb. You can watch the watch glitz. She already bubbly. We ain't got a pop, Chris.
Yeah. You were locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Nick?
I think this was Andy's jam. See? I knew it.
Is that Nick
in 2002?
BTK and the R? That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Wow, what a time.
What a time to be alive. This is what I will say, right? I think Nick is talented and can do a lot of things. And there have been, maybe a verse, a couple bars.
Well, rapping is not.
He can rap. He can rap. Stop hating, man. He can rap. He got bars. He could rap better than some of these cats that's out right now.
Well,
Straight
that's
up.
not hard to be.
It might be corny to you guys, but he got talent.
Fun fact: I have Nick Cannon's first album.
What is that? The one with the plane and the players.
It's just his face, I think, in braids.
I'm talking about the song.
Oh, I don't remember the songs on there. I couldn't tell you to save my life.
You just know you bought it.
Yeah, at the suggestion of somebody that was not smart in musical taste.
Listen, shout out to Nick, right?
This man, I remember that. I remember the person who hyped me up to buy that CD. He was like, "Oh, Nick Cannon's dope. He's gonna be the next big thing."
You know what's funny? Who said that? Who said Nick was gonna be the next big thing?
I'm not gonna tell you the person's name, but
no. I'm not asking you literally.
Yeah.
I'm saying like we always heard like Nick Cannon's gonna be the next Will Smith. The next Will Smith. You know who said that?
Who said that? Will Smith?
Nick Cannon.
You know what?
I don't know.
That's why it didn't work.
That song, I feel like that song, much like it sounds very much like the time period that it was from. If you think about the early 2000s, we had a lot of flute sort of, what was it? Truth Hurts, Addictive, couple other songs, that era in hip hop was interesting.
That was Trackmasters who produced
that was kind of one of their signature little things at the time, right? What happened to Trackmasters? Where did they go?
I guess the same place Scott Storch went.
No, Scott Storch went a different way. That's a different one.
Yeah, Trackmasters, they produced Jay-Z and R. Kelly's albums, both of them. I can't think of the other album that they produced, but they were definitely, I want to say they produced a couple Brandy records, if I'm not mistaken.
They had quite a bit. I feel like Deborah Cox is popping into my head, which I know would seem strange, but I feel like they produced a Deborah Cox song as well. They 98 to like 2003, 2004-ish. That's a real Trackmaster era right there. Maybe a little further along than that, but they.
And I was going to say, I know you don't like to talk about him too much, but R. Kelly wrote a lot of records during that period too. For B2K, for Nick Cannon, Cassidy, a lot of cats.
Mm-hmm. What was the hotel song? Girl, do you want to come to my hotel? Yeah, I'll give you my room key. See, that's another one that has that kind of I know who did that. That was an era. That was just very much,
A time.
Even Tigger, Big Tigger, he was in on that.
That's right.
Huh?
So I forgot about him.
What is the song? That's right. Move your body like a snake, ma. What's that? I forgot to give a birthday shout out. Shout out to Russell Wilson. It is his 35th birthday today. Big SAG energy. I don't really care for SAGs, but big SAG energy.
No one does.
Shout out for him and CC.
Shannon Thompson is the only person that reps hard for the Sagittarius crew. Is she in the chat tonight?
She is, but I don't know if she heard that.
Of course she heard it. She hears everything pertaining to a Sagittarius.
Man.
Birthday shout out to the game as well.
Happy birthday to the game. Compton's own.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle.
I like Don Cheadle. Yeah.
What's your favorite Don Cheadle? That's interesting.
Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman as well, too.
Oh, wow.
It was today? Wow. You're flying. Oh, okay. A lot of Sages. Man.
Interesting.
Okay. Don Cheadle. What's your favorite Don Cheadle role?
I forgot the name of that movie that he played the
radio DJ.
Yeah, Talk to Me.
Petey Green.
Yes, that was my favorite Don Cheadle role. Oh, I cried.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. Andy.
Earl the Pearl Man of Gold.
Okay. I like that. That's a good list. So obviously I'm with you, Petey Green. That's one of my favorite. I'm gonna go old school though. Something Shannon says I'm not in the chat, even though she just typed she's in the chat. Okay.
You know what that is? That's a Sagittarian mind game, but let's move on.
Urban Spinster said Gigolo might be the only one. That's another R. Kelly joint. I did like Gigolo. That one I appreciated. Urban Spinster mentions Brooklyn's Finest as well. I only know the Jay-Z song as far as that. Sounds like it. Maybe that's what she's saying. Maybe Trackmasters protect Brooklyn's Finest. Jigga. That was off the first album. Jay-Z and Biggie Smalls. Big balls.
Brooklyn's Finest. Isn't that like a Don Cheadle role?
Oh, she's talking about the movie.
Yeah.
I was talking about the song.
Oh.
Listen, see, there's lots of ways that it can go.
Yeah.
Devil in a Blue Dress, Mouse. That's one of my favorite performances from him too. It's a little, people don't really talk about that movie that much, but I really loved that particular movie just
one
because
of
of
my
the
good
twist
friends from back in the day, she used to call her father Devil in a Blue Suit. Or
was he passing?
Her stepfather.
I'm just. Well, have you seen the movie?
I haven't seen.
Okay.
I mean, it was 25 years ago. I don't remember that. I don't go. My memory can't.
Because you got silent, so you didn't get my joke. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I can't.
She's like, we got turned around.
Movie. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to think about that.
You're like, what are you talking about?
95.
I don't know. Do you remember 95? Do you remember what you were doing?
Yeah, I was watching Waiting to Exhale 95. I do remember that.
Shoot, around this time then.
Yeah.
Because that's when it dropped in 95. I know it was the winter months. I know it was November.
Yeah, I remember actually that was so funny. Just triggered myself. That was the last movie that I saw with my grandmother in the theater before she passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, was Waiting to Exhale.
You guys bonded over that?
In December. Well, we were there we didn't bond over it. I was just there with my aunt and my grandmother.
I mean, when I say bond, just, I mean, it was a good experience, being with family. I know you were too young to really take in whatever.
I was 13.
Were you caring about these married women getting divorced and
of
trying
course.
to go through the qualities of life? You were?
Michael! Yeah.
I don't know that part.
Yes, you do.
I know you raggedy chick.
We all know
oranges
that.
At her.
It's so funny.
And he's a good man, Savannah.
There were so many lines in that film.
Listen, when we come forward, more trending topics, more headlines. We're gonna get into Michael Rappaport. He has a lot to say.
I don't like that guy.
About what's gonna happen to the people that have been silent on the issues with Israel and Palestine.
Nope.
He has some commentary.
He needs to go somewhere else. Remy.
All of that and more. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that for Bree's car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Bree's car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy for Breeze. La 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 la.
Hey Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So we know Michael Rappaport is very outspoken. He utilizes his social media, his podcast to say what is on his mind. And most recently...
It'd be wrong. Most of the time.
Most recent, like a lot of men with the podcast mics. No, I'm just playing.
It's so true.
Most recently, he posted, and this was actually, well, it was a couple weeks ago, right? But I'm wondering, and rock with me for a second.
It's gonna be hard to do that coming to this man. I can't see. He's Remy to me.
And I understand that completely. And I'm not saying that I agree with how he's positioning this, but I do wonder, because we've had the conversations, right? We know that Black people, as far as like the civil rights movement and how we moved and how we pulled that together amongst each other, right, set the tone for a lot of other movements that came later on. As far as the United States, right? We, unfortunately, have a lot of experience with trying to push for our rights, yes? And others follow suit behind us. So I wonder if a lot of the approach that some are taking between the Israel and Palestine conflict is not attempting to take a page out of our book. We have days of blackouts where we're like, we're not going to shop with you so that we can show you our economic power. We have not been thus far organized enough to do it for extended period of time, but we try. We do apply pressure. Oh, you gonna support that? Not gonna see you over here with us. And we contribute a lot. Do you believe, well, essentially what he said was that he and his Jewish friends, and he termed it something similar, I'm not too far off base with what he said, were making lists of everyone who supported Israel or who was silent and who was anti-Jewish, and that they won't get any loans or investments opportunities. And I really thought about that, and I'm like, one,
for those who supported Israel. That's what he's saying. He's not gonna give loans to people who supported Israel.
Yeah.
Okay.
My point is, right? Is that not feeding into a stereotype about Jewish people? Isn't that why Kanye and Kyrie got in trouble that time in reference to Jewish people? And, and I know this is a sensitive topic. I'm just, asking the question because I thought that was ironic that he would not say, oh, we're going to economically impact you. As I mentioned earlier, we see that in all avenues of strikes and, labor disputes. That's the goal. But it's not feeding into a stereotype.
We all know that white people can get away with things and say things that black people can't, even if it's the same thing.
I just,
and I don't even. He said
we're making a list and checking it twice.
So he's Santa Claus now.
Yeah, it's season. I'm gonna tell you.
Whatever, Remy.
I thought of Santa Claus, and I thought of that other movie that Steven Spielberg produced.
Both of which are not real. Santa Claus.
Do you know the movie I'm talking about?
I'm not thinking. I know
you're being funny.
Yeah,
but
I'm totally ignoring everything.
Everything I'm saying, you're just not taking it seriously. Okay, I got it.
Because Michael, he's insane, and certain people, it's okay when they talk and want to show support for their cause, or whatever. But other people, it's just like, you know what? I don't even feel this at all.
Do you like he and Amy Schumer was another one? Do you think it's, there's certain words that though existed and were a part of, regular vocabulary, I feel are much more embedded in our conversations now. And I don't know if it's just awareness and people see things for what they are, or if it is an overcorrection and sort of blaming everything. But do you think that what he was doing is a form of bullying?
Everything that he does is a form of bullying because he is in a position of power and privilege. And when you are in a position of power and privilege, as he is, you have to be very careful about how you express opinions and who you align with, because it starts looking like something else.
From him?
Yes.
I just, it just kind of surprised me that he would take that. And again, he could have been in jest.
It doesn't surprise me at all. That's why I keep calling him Remy.
You think he's like
my world, my country. Mm-hmm. That's how he is.
Spoiler alert.
Can't shake it.
Higher Learning was another one of those movies that...
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Was it really? I loved it in pieces, but I don't think I loved it all together.
I loved...
You and Andy
I love most John Singleton movies. He's one of my favorite people. One of my favorite directors. But it was of the time. It was very much... it captured what was going on to me of the times.
It absolutely did. I just didn't...
And it resonated with me.
I don't know.
Totally.
I just, for whatever reason, I started to slow fade. Maybe I have a thing with time. I felt like it could have been a more concise movie, I think, at the time. I can't remember. I haven't seen it I watched it not too long after John passed away. Obviously, because obviously John was a family friend. But I remember at the time I was like, I don't know. But I don't know what I was unsure about. Andy?
2 things.
Yes.
I wanted to choke the hell out of Michael Rappaport in that movie too.
Remy.
And maybe that was part of it too,
God,
because
so annoying.
the character it disturbed me. So maybe that's
to
why
the
I didn't
core.
like it, because I really didn't like the character.
And that's the purpose of the movie, I think.
It was.
Because like Trent said, I mean, I think it was just a representation of life at the time or whatnot.
It was a couple years after the riots. It was John Singleton.
Skinheads.
It was it was real, and we hadn't got anything like that in a movie that was current and modern that also showed Black people fighting back
and tapped into their educational process.
Yes.
I remember Cube giving all those lectures or whatever when you walked in. And the thing is, of course,
Peppermint.
especially at that time, you definitely knew someone in college that was like that. You just
Yes.
like, here he go, But it wasn't wrong, but just like, man, we don't want to hear a lecture right now. You 27th year senior. Okay, part 2.
Plus, that movie was a lot of Black excellence. You know what I'm saying? You had Omar Epps, Tyra Banks, Busta Rhymes.
Regina
King.
Oh, I want to watch that again tonight.
But what I wanted to say was...
And the soundtrack, Deja. Sorry, go ahead.
Jill, I think you got something wrong with college themes.
Me?
Yeah.
How do you... Let me tell you why I don't.
But let me just... Because when we're talking about music, and we talked about J. Cole, and you was like, I don't know if I'm rocking with J. Cole. Something about the whole college thing I ain't rocking with. And you're talking about higher learning. It was a school aspect. I don't know. I'm just making an observation. I could be all the way wrong.
You could be, but no, not with that. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen it in a very long time. Well, I watched it kind of, not all the way through. I think I forgot how much Remy disturbed me. I think it might have just been that. When I really, really think about it, because
he was trash, horrible. It's like that character that he played, it was like it typecast him forever. Like he can't do anything. Just like we hated Lawrence Fishburne for such a long time after he played Ike. Oh, we could not see him in anything else but Ike.
What was that movie he did with, what was it, Terrell Hicks or something, Zebrahead?
We don't remember because he was Ike for so long, and it took him.
No. Zebrahead is Michael Rappaport.
Oh.
It was his movie.
No one cares.
Higher Learning. Look, you're like, bump that.
Yeah, just like it took.
I care,
Fishburne.
Trent. I remember these things.
Stop talking about this guy. We don't want to give him airplay. Next thing you know, he'll be calling up here, talking crass. Please don't, because I would. Nope, I would have to leave the building.
I don't have no commentary for him.
Yeah,
Trent, you think he's a culture vulture, huh?
I think he's a culture vulture, among other things.
I do think that he plays I think that there's
he's a panderer
where we did give him a little bit of the pass to the cookout, and I think that he took it a little far.
He did when he started sitting up there on Wendy's show hosting while she was gone. That's when he took it too far. That's what really made me not like him more.
On Wendy?
Oh yeah, he was. He was a guest host on Wendy for a while.
Okay. When we come forward, that's interesting.
It was interesting, and it was like, ugh.
That's a weird fit.
It's so weird.
When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics, more headlines. We have Victoria Monet. We're going to talk about
I love her.
Acceptance and the desire to be, acknowledged. Is it a bad thing necessarily? We're going to talk about Andre 3000 and a couple of other things. All of that and more. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're rolling with a player, mommy, come on, cause I'ma keep it going at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I started by the blue, teasing Nike shoes, plus chicks by the loose. Ain't no telling what this man might do, cause tonight this man ain't playing by the rules. So tell me, anybody feel the freak out? Anybody feel the freak out? Anybody feel the freak out? Anybody feel the freak out?
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The FBI is investigating after the former Minneapolis police